Hi, I'm Jennifer Fletcher, faculty in the Division of Humanities and Communication at California State University, Monterey Bay. The course you are enrolled in is fully online, and most of the activities, with the exception of the midterm, are asynchronous, meaning that students and the instructor don't have to be online at the same time. Readings and written assignments do have fixed deadlines, and all assignments, quizzes, and tests will be submitted through the course website. The fact that this course is online places a higher burden of responsibility on you, the student, for meeting all the course outcomes. You'll need to read the text carefully and thoroughly, respond to all the discussion forums thoughtfully and in a timely manner, keep track of quiz and midterm dates, and submit all assignments by their deadlines. You'll need to take ownership for your learning throughout the term. You'll also be responsible for making sure your participation in our online discussions is courteous and productive. Please observe professional standards for online conduct. I often tell students that the most that I can do for them in class is to make labels for the file folders in their brains that they're going to have to fill with content themselves. At the post-secondary level, more learning must happen outside of class than in, and students must read and write extensively and independently if they're going to meet course outcomes. This is particularly true when a class doesn't meet face-to-face. While I can help organize and facilitate your learning, I can't do the learning for you. The problem with labeled file folders that aren't filled through hard academic work is that they can become the home of superficial thinking. Thus, at the university level, accountability for becoming an educated person primarily resides with the students. This is the idea of reading for a degree versus earning credits for a degree. You are not practicing how to read and write when a professor forces you to do so. You are practicing how to read and write for authentic audiences, purposes, and occasions as part of a lifelong habit of literacy and learning. Because reading is your responsibility, I rarely give low-level reading quizzes on assigned text as an accountability measure. The evidence for whether or not students are reading extensively and independently is in the student's speech and writing. Proficiency in academic writing depends on fluency in academic reading. If you're not regularly reading complex and scholarly texts, and I'd say more than 10 hours per week for a class at this level, your writing cannot improve beyond its current level. Let's now take a closer look at the course description for this class, HCOM 437, Shakespeare and Postcolonial Interpretations. This course analyzes Shakespeare's plays from classical, modern, postmodern, and postcolonial perspectives, and analyzes the meanings of those plays in colonial and a postcolonial world. We read several of Shakespeare's major comedies and tragedies, as well as many of his poems. HCOM 437 offers built-in assessment in HCOM Major Learning Outcome 6, that's literary analysis, and it also meets the English subject matter preparation requirement. Active learning is an important part of this online course. Students completing HCOM 437 will be able to demonstrate that they've met the following learning outcomes: that they can analyze and interpret major works of poetry, comedy, and tragedy by William Shakespeare in a variety of critical and social contexts. They can demonstrate effective critical thinking and written and oral communication skills, can engage in theatrical processes which apply production techniques such as rehearsal strategies, principles of theatrical design, and textual interpretation. And that will be, I think, both kind of a fun part and a challenge for this online course. Employ basic elements of character analysis and approaches to acting, including physical and vocal techniques that reveal character and relationships, and demonstrate basic knowledge of the language of visual composition and set design. You have just 2 required texts. There is the Norton Shakespeare, edited by Stephen Greenblatt, and then 1,000 Acres, which is a novel by Jane Smiley. You're also welcome to access the plays through other sources if you choose not to purchase the Norton anthology. For your assignments, you'll have an original sonnet that you'll be writing following Shakespeare's form, and you'll be writing that in iambic pentameter. You'll be writing a brief analysis on Shakespeare's sonnets. You'll have a couple of online quizzes. You'll have a brief analysis on The Tempest or The Merchant of Venice. You'll also have a brief analysis on Othello. There's an online midterm, and that will have a set time. You're going to be writing several journal entries on a motif that you track across the full course, and the assignment directions will have more information on what a motif is. And then finally, you'll be writing a 7 to 9 page paper on a critical analysis of the play As You Like It, or Twelfth Night, or the tragedy King Lear. And for your deadlines, it's important to keep in mind that all your assignments will be submitted online by the due date and time. Assignments may only be turned in late with my permission, and extensions must be requested before the due date. And I'll only grant extensions under serious and unavoidable circumstances. Unapproved late work will receive no credit in this course. Please be aware that CSUMB welcomes and accommodates students with disabilities. If you have a disability that you think may affect your performance in the course, please contact me so that we can discuss reasonable accommodations. And you may also contact student disability resources on campus at CSUMB. Please do take note of CSUMB's policy on academic integrity. You'll find this in the syllabus. And the policy states that the university expects all students and other campus members to document the intellectual contributions of others and to ensure that the work they submit is their own. Academic dishonesty usually refers to forms of cheating and plagiarism, which result in students giving or receiving unauthorized assistance in an academic exercise or receiving credit for work which is not their own. And specific forms of academic dishonesty include the following: fabrication, intentional and unauthorized falsification or invention of any information or citation in an academic exercise; facilitating academic dishonesty, intentionally or knowingly helping or attempting to help another person to violate a provision of the institutional code of academic integrity. And that would include doing something like helping someone else on an online quiz or midterm. Those assessments need to be completed independently. Plagiarism, the deliberate adoption or reproduction of ideas or words or statements of another person as one's own without acknowledgement. And we'll use MLA style for our documentation style for all written assignments in this course. At CSUMB, incidents shall be handled by faculty and reported to the Office of Judicial Affairs in order to ensure that repeated violations do not go undetected. So if there is an incidence, for instance, of plagiarism, I do submit a faculty report. Now, you'll have several PowerPoint presentations to view that include audio, but no video. The audio was recorded during the face-to-face version of this class. And you want to be sure to take notes from the PowerPoints with the audio, because you'll hear content from the lectures that is not spelled out on the slides. I hope that you'll find the class enjoyable and meaningful, and I look forward to working with you this term. Thank you.